Hey there, I'm not typically the one to write such stories, but this one hit me hard. It happened back in the fall of 2019, right before the whole COVID thing went down. It's a story that stuck with me ever since, and I figured you guys might find it interesting. It's not exactly a happy ending, but hey, that's life sometimes, right? Now my town isn't exactly bustling with excitement. We've got a population that barely scrapes by 2,000. A single traffic light, and enough flannel shirts to clothe a lumberjack convention. But what we lack in thrills, we make up for in good people, and a whole lot of nature. The forest practically swallows our town whole in it. Used to be my playground growing up. You know, building forts, sneaking beers with friends after school, the usual small-town shenanigans. Even now, at 38, I can't resist a good hike every now and then. So you can imagine the shock that ripped through town when a girl, 17 years old, went missing. I won't share her real name, wouldn't want to disrespect the family. And trust me, the internet vultures were out in force on this one. Enough crazy theories floating around to make your head spin. Let's just call her Jane. It all happened fast. 1 minute Jane was leaving school, the next, her bike was found abandoned near the edge of the forest, covered in those sparkly stickers she loved. Now you know how it goes in a small town. Everyone knows everyone, and a missing person hits hard. Theories started swirling around faster than the autumn leaves in a windstorm. It was a tense time. Naturally, a search party was organized, and naturally I signed up. Now I'm not a hero by any stretch. I work as a mechanic at the local garage, fixing up rusty old pickups and dented fenders. But hey, someone had to do it. It was late afternoon by the time the search party was organized. The plan was to head out as soon as the sun started to set. It wasn't ideal, but autumn nights come fast here. We paired up, armed with flashlights, and that gnawing feeling in our guts. Most of us had grown up playing in these woods, but the darkness always adds a different layer. We started in pairs, combing the familiar trails, calling out Jane's name, hoping for a response that would never come. As darkness thickened, the woods seemed to close in around us. Headlamps sliced through the gloom, revealing eye sheen from startled raccoons and the occasional flitting owl. People started drifting back, the search party thinning with each returning pair. More volunteers were supposed to be arriving, but there was a gap. That unsettling period of time when you're alone in the woods and the silence is broken only by the rustle of leaves and the beating of your own heart. Now me, I wasn't exactly scared. Like I said, these held no mysteries for me. At least that's what I thought. I ventured deeper, further than I probably should have. My flashlight beam cut through the dense foliage, casting long, distorted shadows that danced with every gust of wind. There was a small lake further in, a place we used to call Whispering Pond when we were kids. Supposedly it was haunted. Looking back, it seems kind of silly now. But as I got closer, I realized something wasn't right. The lake, or what was left of it, looked more like a swamp now, choked with thick vegetation. Still, I pressed on, pushing through the tangled undergrowth. There was a reason I was heading this way, and it wasn't just childhood nostalgia. Up ahead, a flicker of light caught my eye, a faint, almost ethereal glow pulsing in the darkness. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would you investigate a random light in the middle of the creepy woods? Didn't you hear all those horror movie warnings? Believe me, I've seen my fair share of slashers. But here's the thing. When you're out there searching for a missing girl, every flicker of hope seems like a beacon. And besides, it could have been another volunteer. The clearing opened up before me. In the center, a stagnant pond, choked with algae and overgrown with reeds, shimmered in the darkness. Then I noticed the silence. The unnerving quietude that had settled over the clearing. No chirping crickets, no croaking frogs, not even the buzzing of mosquitoes. The yellow light, the single reason I ventured into this unearthly clearing, was gone. As I scanned the clearing, my headlamp beam caught a flash of blue at the water's edge. A scarf, a bright blue scarf that wasn't faded or ragged. My heart hammered against my ribs. Could it be Jane's? With trembling hands, I approached the water, the damp earth squelching beneath my boots. Reaching down, I picked up the scarf, the soft fabric cool against my fingers. Then I saw it. Leaning across the clearing, barely visible in the dense undergrowth at the edge of the stagnant pond, were the two flickering yellow lights again. This time, however, they weren't alone. A faint outline, a hulking shape hidden in the shadows, loomed beside them. The lights were its eyes, glowing with an unnatural intensity. Panic, cold and primal, flooded through me. Whatever that thing was, it wasn't human. And despite the fear, despite the primal urge to run, I found myself taking 2 hesitant steps towards it, drawn by a force I couldn't comprehend. Then, from the depths of the shadows, came a sound that ripped through the silence, a chilling screech, unearthly and primal, that sent a wave of nausea crashing over me. In that instant, the fog of fear cleared. I understood. This wasn't some lost hiker or confused volunteer. This was a predator. And I, like a fool, had been drawn in like a moth to a flame. Adrenaline surged through me, snapping me out of my morbid fascination. Ignoring the pounding in my chest and the scream that threatened to erupt from my throat, I turned and bolted. I don't remember how long I ran. At some point, I just burst out of the trees and into the clearing where the search party was stationed. Faces turned towards me, etched with concern. There was Cody, the organizer of the search party, his brow furrowed with worry. I thrust the blue scarf towards him, the flimsy fabric trembling in my shaking hand. Cody's eyes widened. I told him what happened, a disjointed mess of my encounter with the creature. Cody listened intently, his expression grim. Then a choked sob broke the silence. A woman, one of Jane's teachers I recognized, crumpled to the ground, tears streaming down her face. The weight of the unspoken truth settled over the group like a shroud. No trace of Jane was ever found. The townsfolk whispered of wildcats, of rogue bears, but I knew better. What I saw, what I heard, wasn't anything native to these woods. As for the creature itself, I don't know what it was, or where it came from. But one thing is certain. It's still out there, and the memory of its glowing eyes continues to haunt my sleep. What is up, guys? Mr. Shadow Whisper here. Thanks for sticking with the video. If you enjoyed it, consider leaving a like and subscribing for more. I always appreciate your feedback. So leave a comment below and let me know what you thought. And if you have a story you'd like to share, there's a link to my email in the description box.